Welcome to the call, everybody. My name is Billy Funk, and you are on this call today to talk about an opportunity called Uneeqlee that has yet to launch. This is a super exciting time right now in this industry. We've got an awesome opportunity that's just one of the most fantastic tools that I've seen, something that I've been waiting for a long, long time. And we have the privilege and pleasure right now to actually talk with the owner of the company, the co-owner, actually, Seth Frazier. And in the last year, Seth has done a lot of awesome things. He's a super successful businessman. You know, he's started several companies that have made millions in the first 30 days. And I know this, that Seth is looking to far eclipse anything that he's done in the past with this one. This is his baby. You know, guys, in the last several years that I've been in network marketing and, you know, online marketing, I have been looking for a way to truly help people dig for their gold quicker. Because if you look at the gold rush, back in the day, there was a few people that actually dug for gold and actually made some money. But the majority of money was made by the people that had the tools. The majority of money was made by the people that had a way for people to dig for their gold quicker, easier, and more efficiently and effectively. And that's what we have here. We've got an awesome opportunity that you're going to hear about in the next 20 minutes from the co-owner of the company that is a tool that can help anybody promote their primary business. And we're not just talking about online and offline marketing. We're talking about brick and mortar companies. We're talking about business owners across the world because we're going to be in 27 countries. So we have got, in my opinion, one of the most unique ways for people to go out there and capture the attention of their audience and to go out there and to market to them in a very awesome fashion. Because, you know, if you look at the way things are going right now, email marketing is on its way out. It's kind of like the old VHS or even DVD. It's all digital now, and text message marketing is really the wave of the future. So what we're going to be talking about is a way for each and every one of you to truly step your game up, to truly help your team grow bigger, better, and faster, and to truly help your business grow in a very unique way, and for you to reach out to more people and to really connect with more people, because I think that's what it's all about, is relationships. And so I'm going to introduce here Seth Frazier, one of the co-owners of the company. Like I was telling you guys before, you know, Seth has been super successful at starting businesses. You know, I've known Seth for a short amount of time, but it feels like I've known him forever. You know, he's an absolutely awesome person, an awesome business owner, and he has got an incredible vision with what he's about to launch. And so without further ado, Seth Frazier.
Billy Funk, you are a rock star, and I appreciate you doing the intros today. Thank you so much. And for those of you who are on the call, I've known a lot of you folks for a very long time. Billy and I are more recently acquainted, but I heard some folks on this call that I know I've known for 7-8 years. Kathy Foster out in Colorado usually. Now she's out in New York, I believe, visiting our good friend Bruce Nelkin. And so I appreciate you guys being on the call. And you know, Eric Green and John Simpson, and some of these guys who've been working with me here in the last few weeks, last few months, I should say. We've been really working behind the scenes to put something together, and we're doing this launch a lot differently than you might see another company do a launch out there. And a good part of that, the reasoning behind that, I think in the last 6 months, if any of you have been tracking the network marketing field, what we've all kind of seen out there is that a lot of companies are doing this big hype, and they build a database of, you know, 300,000, 3 million, you know, 5 million people, and then everybody's sitting kind of waiting with their finger on the trigger, but there's no trigger to pull because the product's not ready. We're kind of taking the inverse attitude with this and the way that we're launching this, and so you'll see right now, this is actually our very first corporate call. And we actually purposefully made this a small call. So we only expect about 50 or so people to be on this call, and there's a very good reason for that. So I want to explain a little bit about our launch strategy. I'm going to tell you a little bit about how this company is run, what the company does. I'm going to give you some insight into our products and our thinking behind the pricing of those products. To give you a quick overview on that, we have pricing that starts out at $19.95 per month. We don't charge a sign-up fee. You can move up in the price points up to $59.95 or $199.95, which opens up a good chunk of the comp plan. We'll get into that towards the end of the call here. What I really want to cover right now is, again, this launch strategy that we're doing. I'll tell you a few things that might excite you a little bit. We haven't sent out one email yet. As a company, we haven't sent an email out yet. We haven't put a notification up. In fact, the people on this call are some of the very few who actually know the name and know how it's spelled. So you've got a real jump on the competition in a lot of ways, and we did that on purpose because We wanted to really create a opportunity for those of you who are actual leaders to be able to go out and build your teams and have a jump on the field before we move into what we're calling our Whisper launch, which I'll give you the launch date for that, by the way, which is also coming up very, very soon. A good part of the reasoning behind this for us is we don't want you to have a system where you build this thing up to tremendous levels and then you have to sit back and wait for the company to catch up to the expectations that you folks have set for your members based on what you've probably been told by a company owner. What we want to do is instead give you this great product and service, have it live and ready so that by the time you bring your people over to it, they fall absolutely in love and they can't do anything but tell all their friends about it. So we really took the inverse direction on this, and I think it's an exciting opportunity. So for those of you who haven't gone out and started your SEO and that sort of thing, who haven't actually gotten the name out there to your folks, I'll go ahead and give you the name of the program right now. The name of the company is called Uneeqlee. And in fact, you probably heard Billy say the word unique quite a few times just in the introduction part. And the reason we chose the name Uneeqlee is because we want you and your products and services to be able to stand out. Now, what does that mean? That means any product or service that you're currently representing. So from a lot of the folks on this call are going to be already part of another network marketing, multi-level marketing opportunity, and that's great. We actually fully encourage that. In fact, this program has really helped or is really created to help you be able to promote that product or service in a much better way, in a more effective way, using some great mobile marketing tools. Now, I want to go ahead and give you the spelling of that name because it's not spelled the way you would think, and it's actually, we expect the spelling of this to be something that takes hold to the point where hopefully down the road people actually think this is how it's spelled, because we really want this to be such a common household name and really get folks involved with it. So if you have a pen and paper, write this down. I'm going to spell it out very nice and clean for you. The name of the program is Uneeqlee, and it's spelled UNEEQLEE.com. So Uneeqlee.com. And again, the theme behind that really is that you're unique. As a person, as a marketer, we want to be able to brand you and your products and services in a way that really attracts folks to you and allows you to keep in touch with them with 3 pretty strong mobile tools. I'm going to go ahead and tell you a little bit about what those tools are and what the price points are for those, and then we'll get a little bit into the compensation plan. So the 3 primary products that Uneeqlee is going to offer as a company when we go into launch here, we're moving into our Whisper launch very soon, and again, I'll give you the date for that towards the end of the call here. We're going to launch with 3 primary products. Product number 1 is actually an SMS texting platform. So you'll have the ability to be able to have choose a keyword with us. And for those of you who are not familiar with some of the mobile text jargon out there, we bought what's called a vanity shortcode. What that really means is we bought a 5-digit phone number that's easy to remember. And the vanity part of it is what makes it expensive. It makes it hard to get, and it's hard to find a really great vanity code out there. So we actually bought the 5-digit phone number 75,000. So when folks in the U.S. here sign up and they actually choose a keyword with us, your keyword, by the way, will actually be your username. So when you sign up with us, you want to put some thought into what username you're going to want to choose. If you're representing multiple network marketing opportunities, you are going to be allowed to choose multiple usernames with us. In other words, you'll be able to buy multiple positions with us. And this is one of the few times in network marketing history that not only is that allowed, but it is completely legal, because you're not buying this simply to garner more money through the compensation plan. You're buying this so you can promote another business, service, or opportunity that you're representing. A lot of folks out there represent a health and wellness company. Perhaps they offer some marketing services, some digital online services, some cell phone service, whatever it might happen to be that you represent out there. You're going to be able to choose the usernames that fit those programs and have people opt in when they meet you on the street. So let me give you a great example of how this program will work. When you sign up with us, let's say, for instance, your name was Bob, and you wanted to sign up with us and choose the username Bob. When you do that, what's going to happen is as you walk down the street and you meet some folks and you're telling them about your great home-based business that you run on a daily basis, selling some coffee products or whatever it might happen to be, and they say, yeah, I'd love some more information on that, you'll be able to set up through our system the opportunity for people to text the word Bob to the phone number 75,000, and from that point forward, that person is immediately going to get a message back that says, welcome to Bob's coffee list. And you, as a member with us, you're going to have the ability to set up specials and opportunities for folks. If you want to run a discount on a particular month, you can set up a campaign around that. You can set up a welcome message that lets them know about your products and services immediately and allows them to enroll even with you in your current network marketing opportunity. If you have an opportunity that has, let's say, opportunity calls on Wednesdays, and training calls on Saturdays. You can actually schedule out these reminders to go out to the field. So if you have a team of 100 people within a network marketing company and you want those folks to be on the training calls on Saturdays, we're actually going to have a very nice system that walks you through being able to be reminded. Tell those folks about those calls on Saturday. I know I've gotten those text messages in the past from some really great, strong leaders who think about it every single week. So every single Wednesday, every single Friday, every single Saturday, they create these text messages and send them out to their field using their regular cell phone. The problem with that is that it tends to be something that can be forgotten, and using our systems, we'll actually be able to have you set it and forget it. So when you say be on our opportunity call or our training call on Saturday, you set it one time, and everybody that's a part of that message list now is going to get a text message reminder from you. That's in the network marketing field. Now, in what we might call the brick and mortar or the regular business side of things, imagine a pizza shop that wants to be able to send out specials because they have a happy hour every day from 2 to 4. Well, they can have a nice little poster at the front of their store that says, text the word Pizza Bob to 75,000 for special discounts and updates from us, and they'll be able to keep in touch with the field using that. Now, again, all three price points I discussed have that text messaging capability. The only difference between them is the amount of text you're going to be able to send. At the $19.95 price point, you're going to be able to send out 100 text messages per month. At the $59.95 price point, you're going to be able to send 1,000 text messages per month, and you're going to get a couple of bonus products that we'll talk about in a little bit. And at the $199.95 price point, you're actually going to be getting 4,000 text messages per month. And again, those bonus products are going to be included there as well. So we'll tell you a little bit more about that in a moment. And by the way, for those of you who have joined us a little bit later, don't worry about it. We're actually recording this call, and I'll be posting a copy of this online. So for those of you that came through one of the leaders that are on this call, we appreciate you being here, and you'll be able to get a copy of this if you missed out on the first portion of this call. So again, that text messaging platform is product number one that comes at all three price points. Product number two that comes at all three price points. And this is really the primary reason why we call the program Uneeqlee. We want you to be able to stand out your products and services. We have a customized QR code generator. For those of you who are not familiar with what a QR code is, it looks a little bit like a barcode. It's shaped in a square. It's got a bunch of dots. Usually the ones you see out there normally just look like a bunch of black dots, and they don't really encourage you to take action and actually do something with that code. So what we've done is we've created a customized QR code generator that's going to allow you to be able to upload the logo for whatever product or service it is that you're representing. And then our QR code generator actually color analyzes the logo and creates a QR code that's based on that color scheme and integrates your logo right in the center of it. On top of that, not only does it do that, but you've also got those normal blocky-looking dotty things on the screen. We've actually given you some nice options like rounded corners. You can turn those into little arrows and all kinds of things. I can't really represent it to you visually on a phone call like this, but I can tell you they look really, really good, and they draw your eye in. And we'll give you the opportunity to put those on business cards, on posters, on flyers, that sort of thing, to really help you to be able to generate new business and recurring business with your customers. So for those of us who are in network marketing, most of us on this call probably are, it's a great way to keep in touch with the field and get those folks engaged and actually going to work. And for those of us who are going to be in the brick and mortar business side of things, it actually is a great way to make sure that those folks come back in, revisit your store, and actually come back and give you some new business. So the QR code generator is the biggest piece of why we call this program Uneeqlee, because it helps you to stand out as a product or service, and it really helps you brand yourself and the things that you're offering. Now, product number three is actually our mobile website generator, and I want to give you guys a little bit of warning on this because actually this is not going to be live when we move into our Whisper launch phase, which happens very, very soon. Again, I'll give you that date in a moment. The mobile website generator, for the moment, you're going to have a couple of options, and those options will actually be mobile replicated versions of our Uneeqlee site. So you'll be able to enroll people when you're out on the go. If you're giving business cards out and people want to know how'd you get that cool customized QR code, or you're telling them about being able to text your username to the phone number 75,000 and they want to know how to be able to get that service themselves, you'll be able to sign them right up from your mobile phone as long as you have a smartphone, or if you have an iPad or other kind of tablet, you'll be able to sign those folks up and get them into your organization immediately right there. And then down the road, about 30 days from when we move into Whisper launch, we'll have the full version of the product. Now, the full version of the product is very exciting because I know I mentioned earlier something about a pizza shop, so let's take that as an example. If I was a pizza shop owner and I sign up on Uneeqlee and I want to take the opportunity to represent my product or service, we're actually going to be giving restaurant owners, hotel owners, mechanics, orthodontists, anything you can imagine out there on the planet, we're going to be giving them templates that fit that kind of business. And not only that, but we're going to have 10 to 15 different versions of pizza shop templates. So they'll actually have a version that looks really, really good for their site. If they don't find something that fits their eye perfectly, they can actually create their own customized template, upload their own background to the screen. And when they do that, they're going to be able to set a map location to their location. They're going to be able to have a call us button, an email us button. They're going to be able to connect to their Twitter, their Facebook, their YouTube accounts. All these things are going to be built into our mobile web generator. And when you think about it, a lot of folks these days are surfing the web more on their phones than they are on their computers because we're out and about. We're a mobile society. And since the advent of the iPhone and Android systems, people are constantly keeping in touch, surfing the web wherever they're at. The nice thing with our QR code that I talked about before is it really brings all three of the products together. When someone scans the QR code, what's going to happen is, number one, they're going to be asked if they want to opt in for text message updates from you at 75,000. And then number two, they're going to be redirected to your mobile website. So when they click the link there, they're going to actually be able to see the products and services that you're offering as a business owner, whether it's a home-based business or brick and mortar. We're going to be given the opportunity to show everything about what you're doing as a business owner. Now, obviously, the great thing from my perspective about this is that we're not interfering with what you're currently representing in the network marketing world. In fact, we're here to really enhance that value and give you the opportunity to really help others see the excitement about what you're building. I expect a lot of folks, though, to be making more with Uneeqlee than they might be with some of their other opportunities out there. Let me tell you a little bit more about what you get at the $59 and $199 packages. At the $59 package, again, you're going to have 1,000 text messages per month instead of 100. And on top of that, we're going to be adding 2 bonus products. Product number one is actually a really fantastic, strong email system. We use some pretty incredible technology to get really high deliverability rates. You're going to be able to send out 15,000 emails per month. And if you have your own lists of folks that you're already emailing, you can import those lists to our servers and email them using our technology. Or if you want to, with the folks that are opting in with you via text message, you can ask those folks if they'd like to add their email address as well and market to them using our systems as well. The great thing here is you can market any opportunity you'd like. The only thing that you can't market using our email systems is actually Uneeqlee, believe it or not. The reason we do that, of course, is that we want to make sure that our servers are kept clean and that we don't get a bunch of spam complaints and that sort of thing. That ensures high deliverability rates for us using our email systems. And so that's product number one. That's one of the bonus products at the higher price point packages. And then product number two in those bonus products is actually you're going to get free leads every single month. Every month at the $59.95 price point, you're going to be getting 100 free leads every single month. What our company does is we go out and buy qualified lead databases. We allow you to comb through those leads, find the ones that match what you're doing. If someone's looking for a home-based business opportunity, we'll know that. We'll be able to tell you that information. If they're located in the San Diego area, in the Texas area, whatever part of the world they might happen to be in, you're going to be able to choose that opportunity to select those folks and add them to your marketing bucket. I know I heard a couple of people on the call that were from out of the U.S. I heard Canada and I heard Thailand. I don't know if anybody else that's joined us here is from out of the country, but we're going to be offering opportunities in many, many countries around the world to give you that opportunity to add those folks to your marketing bucket. So every single month, you're going to be getting 100 free leads at that $59.95 price point. And then at the $199.95 price point, we're going to up the amount of leads you get to 1,000 leads per month and the amount of text messages to 4,000. And you're going to be able to send out 500,000 emails per month using our servers. Now, this technology is actually our team built these email server systems a little over about 10 years ago, actually, and we've had fantastic success with them. In fact, we're currently using them for several other programs that we've actually got folks sending out millions of emails through our systems on a monthly basis. So these have been tried, true, and tested, and we absolutely know they're going to work. It's fantastic technology, and I really love the team that we've put together. They've done a great job building the back office and the software behind it, and you guys are going to see that here when we go live. So that kind of gives you a brief overview of what the product is and how we're actually going about integrating this into what you currently represent. Now let me get a little bit into how the compensation plan is going to work. And actually, you're going to see a mildly updated version of the compensation plan. If you go to Uneeqlee.com, which again, let me give you the spelling one more time. It's Uneeqlee.com. and you click on Commission Plan in the upper right-hand corner, you're going to see an updated version of the commission plan. We had a couple of little things that we fixed up today, and that just went live here about 2 hours ago. And you're going to see that this is a four-sided compensation plan. Now, one of the things I want to emphasize with this, some folks out there are going to realize that one of the reasons we're going to be putting between 10 and 30,000 people in the first 30 days into this program is because of the way this commission plan is structured with a 3x10 zero sponsorship matrix. But I want you to remember this too. Not only are we going to be getting that fast start, but the majority of the money in this compensation plan actually comes from our higher price point packages, which do not participate. Well, the rest of that money, the rest of that business volume doesn't go into the matrix. It actually goes into a 10-generational unilevel, and that's actually probably the most exciting portion of the compensation plan to me. But to give you a brief overview on how we're structuring this, we're allowing people to enter at $19.95 per month, and for those folks that choose to do so, one of the first things they're going to be able to do is they're going to be part of that 3x10 compensation plan. Now, up front, when you join at the $19.95 price point, and if you have not sponsored anyone into the program, what you're going to be able to do is you're going to be able to earn as much as about $1,000 per month, a little under that, $938.40 per month, because you're paid on the first 6 levels of your matrix. Now, if you move up to the $59.95 price point, or if you go and sponsor 5 people, it's going to open up the next 2 levels, and that maxes you out at just under $11,000 a month. That's $10,998 a month. Now, if you choose to move up to the $199.95 price point, that opens up the entire 3x10 matrix to you, or you can go and sponsor 10 people personally, and that will open up those extra 2 levels, levels 9 and 10. And then the matrix at that point pays out as much as $73,984 per month. Now, most of us on this call have participated in matrices before. We understand that there are holes that get punched. It doesn't always fill perfectly. So let's just go ahead and take those numbers and drop them down to just 20% of the max out on that. That can mean that you personally are making a paycheck of around, what is that, $18,000 per month or so. At that point in time, or I guess $20,000 per month if we went 25%. Let's just make it easy. The nice thing about that, when you look at those kind of numbers, that's pretty incredible income from just having great timing and great opportunity, which is really what this call is about. We have almost exactly the right amount of people on this call that I wanted. I actually wanted about 50 people on the call. Right now I'm seeing 51 on our dashboard. It's exactly where we wanted to be because we really wanted an opportunity for the leaders to be able to structure this thing properly. And the reason why comes from the fact that we're setting up a matching check program. And the way the matching check works, it's based off of that matrix. For your personal enrollments, you're going to be earning 40% of what they earn in their matrix as a matching check bonus. On your second generation, that's another 15% for those folks. And that's without any qualifications. So if anybody comes in at $19.95 per month and they're not qualified at the higher levels to earn anything further than that, they're still going to get their first gen and their second gen matching check bonuses. So that means you have a potential to earn 55%, so to speak, through that 40% on your first generation and 15% on your second generation without doing anything. Obviously, in order to be able to get a matching check, you do have to sponsor at least one person because that's how it works. But beyond that, we've made it very, very easy for folks to be able to get into this and take the opportunity. And one thing we've always noticed about programs where we have a zero sponsorship requirement is that it's kind of interesting. It's sort of like a reverse psychology kind of thing. When you tell everybody that they don't have to sponsor anybody, everybody calls everybody they know and says, hey, you don't have to sponsor anybody. So it's a kind of nice thing because you get a lot of folks jumping in very early. But the real strength of this program lies on the fact that we've put a lot of money into our actual unilevel portion of the pay plan. So the first $20 that come in, the first $19.95 is considered as $20 in business volume, and all that drops in the matrix. After that, our $59.95 price point counts as 50 BV. So the first 20 goes in the matrix, the next 30 counts towards your unilevel, and the $199.95 price point counts as 20 BV towards the matrix and 130 towards the unilevel. So one thing that's nice, just to make this simple without getting too complicated on the numbers side of things, is the fact that you can go out and sponsor a business that's going to be using up to 4,000 text messages per month in our 500,000 email platform. And that's a pretty low price point for a business to be involved and actually use a pretty strong mobile marketing system. Every month that business remains active, you're guaranteed a paycheck of at least $52 per month. Now, depending on how things go in the matrix and placement and all that sort of thing, it could be a lot more than that. But at least we can guarantee you this. You will definitely be getting a paycheck for $52 every single month as long as those people remain active. Now, if that business goes and shares with other businesses what they're doing and they get other folks enrolled, you could be looking at a much bigger paycheck. But just looking at the simplicity of it, we like to call this pay plan simple but not simplistic. Basically, you have the opportunity to earn a lot of money. It's very easy to describe, but that doesn't mean that it's really cut off at the knees. There's a lot of strength to this, and for the folks that are coming in early and are going to be leaders with this, we expect you guys to be earning some serious paychecks in this company. I know that a lot of you on this call have asked the question, how many countries are we going to be working in? Billy mentioned the number 27. Actually, it's going to be quite a bit higher than that, and I'm working with some of our text messaging folks and my programmers to figure out the exact number right now. So I'll have that list for you guys. And I know a couple of you have asked for that list a couple of times, and it's actually been modified quite a few times. I keep getting a list and then saying, oh, no, there's more, and that sort of thing. So just so you know, for those of you who have asked for that from me before, you're going to be getting that very, very soon. Also, too, want to let you guys know we are now in the process of working towards getting our Canadian short code. Initially, we were looking at doing a shortcut just in the U.S. to launch, and now we're in the process of looking to get one here in Canada almost before we get into launch here. So that process is working right now. We're working towards the U.K. as well and Australia. And as we move forward, what we're going to do with this is we're going to see what countries have really take hold of this and move forward with it. Because in our first 30 days of our Whisper launch, if we see a country move very quickly toward 1,000 members and the growth is continuing, we're going to take a hold of that opportunity and go lock down a short code in that country as well. Because it actually is one of the biggest goals with Uneeqlee is to give people something that's easy to remember so that when you're out and about and you speak to someone and you don't have a business card on them, it makes it very easy to simply say, hey, send this word to this 5-digit phone number. In some countries, it'll be 4 digits. Other countries, it'll be 6. Depends on the country. But it makes it a lot easier to remember than having to give them a regular phone number because, a lot of folks will just go, oh, what was that number? Oh, I don't remember. That's part of why we really spend a lot of money to buy the short code 75,000 here in the U.S. Because it's easy to remember. People will be able to send your keyword there and stay in touch with you. So that's kind of the basics of the program, and to be honest with you, what I'm excited about here is we have the opportunity to really build towards something big. We're actually going to be doing our initial webinar on next Tuesday, our initial company Whisper launch webinar. So what I'd like you to do is actually get in touch with the leaders who brought you to this call. We'll get you a link for that. We'd like to get you registered on that, and we'd love to have you be a part of it. And that actually next Tuesday is going to be our Whisper launch date. So write this down if you're taking notes right now. August 13th will be the day that Uneeqlee goes live and accepts enrollments. And I've actually spoken with quite a few people on this call who I know have teams lined up of 500 to 600 people already. So it's going to move very, very quickly. We'll get to 10,000 members very, very quickly. For those of you who are on this call, the 50 or so of us that we wanted on this call, it's a perfect opportunity to really grasp that timing and be able to build a paycheck of tens of thousands of dollars per month just simply by taking a hold of the opportunity. So we want you to be on the webinar next Tuesday. We'll get you that link. Again, it's going to come through your leaders right now because that's the way we're doing things right now. We don't want this to be a big hey, look at us before the product goes live. Once it goes into Whisper launch, then we'll be able to really get our marketing engine going, and we'll be starting to send out a ton of emails and be doing our things through social media and all that sort of thing. But if you haven't seen a whole lot out there about us, that's actually by design. We really wanted this to be a groundswell movement where our actual leaders, our networkers who actually understand this field and this opportunity have the chance to lock in their leaders first before we push it out to the public. And once that happens, it's going to hit the ground running, and it's going to go very, very quickly. So we're really excited to have you on this call. I appreciate everybody joining today. And, again, we'll get you that link, and it'll be coming through the leaders that brought you to this call. And once you have that link, make sure you're registered for the webinar, again, happening a week from today. And you'll have the time and the link for that as well. And after the webinar will be when your links are actually going live. So for the folks that have been brought here by someone else, you're going to be getting your sign-up link through them once they choose their username and they're able to disseminate that to the field. Same for yourself. Once you get your link, go get your top 3 leaders. The way the 3x10 is structured, it's really crucial to get your personal enrollments as close to you as possible. because of that check match bonus. So if you have a 40% check match and somebody gets pushed down 6 levels from you, it can really affect your paycheck. So bring your leaders in as close as possible to you, because that really is going to help you to maximize the compensation plan. If it was me, I would make sure that I had an empty spot somewhere so that I could lock my people in myself. So that's the structure you'll want to choose when you're placing your people. And we'll be able to do that here in about a week on next Tuesday when we go live. So make sure you keep your eyes open for that link. We appreciate everybody joining the call today. I know we ran a little bit over time, but thank you for your patience with us. Billy, thank you so much for doing the introduction. Would you like to close out the call?
Absolutely, Seth. I appreciate this awesome opportunity. I appreciate what you're doing for everybody out there. Guys, when I heard about this platform launching, about 2.5 months ago, I started literally moving plates aside because I knew what this was. I was actually not only looking for it, but I needed it. And I truly believe that if you explain this product and this platform to anybody, if you explain this platform to me and said exactly what Seth just said to everybody out there, to me in a very unique way, that I would say yes to it and ask you, is there a way for me to go out there and refer people and make money? And even if you said no, I still say yes. That's the most beautiful part about this opportunity, is that the value proposition is so strong that you can go out there and approach anybody with this, and even without the compensation plan, people are still going to want it. It can truly help you monetize your social equity, because you're literally going out there and not asking somebody to slow down with their business. You're not asking anybody to stop what they're doing. You're actually asking them to take a look at something that will help them out. That's awesome. That's powerful beyond measure. So I want to thank you, Seth, for this awesome opportunity. What a great call. Appreciate everything you're doing, and I'm looking forward to rocking and rolling with this.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Billy. And just one last emphasis, there's not a lot of opportunities out there that have a low price point, that have a real genuine product attached to it, internationally speaking. And we've got that opportunity here at a $20 price point, and that's part of why we expect the floodgates to really open. A lot of folks out there, even just to get paid in another country, it's very difficult. I will say this, and I guess I forgot to mention this, our payment systems, we're locking down a payment system that's going to blow your mind. We're going to be able to do this in literally just thousands of countries, and we'll be able to hit up just about anywhere that you can imagine. You're going to be able to be paid in some incredible ways. So we'll have more details on that as we move forward. And so I appreciate you wrapping that up, Billy, and thank you everyone for joining the call. The next time we do one of these calls, we're going to do a little more of a Q&A at the very end. I was going to do a Q&A on this one, but we're going to actually hold off on that. So in a few days here, we'll be a little more open to be able to do that, because I want to keep this one a little bit structured and just get everybody off the call and calling up your teams. In the meantime, keep your eyes open, because you will get a notification of another call coming up probably in between now and when we actually do our webinar. So keep your eyes open for that. Thank you, everyone, for joining the call. We appreciate you being on, and thanks, Billy, for the intro, and all of you guys for just being a part of this. I'm so proud of the team we've put together. Love you guys all to death, and looking forward to working with you and just absolutely killing this. Thank you, everyone, and have a great day.